Hello guys, what's up guys, T76 here today, and welcome back to the episode of How to Build a Cruise Ship in Minecraft. Today, as you can tell by the title, we are building a steakhouse, or a fancy restaurant, whichever one you guys like to prefer. So, pretty much we're just going to be building on top of this kind of area over here, so let's go ahead and get started. So, as we left off from right here, I'm going to go right back down and make a second kind of promenade deck, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And again, this is a good thing to have in your ship, is a way of, kind of a way to direct traffic, almost. So kind of think of them as roadways, almost, if you will. You want people to know exactly where they're going. So that's why I add these promenade decks, is so that people know where they are going, and so that it's kind of like a walkway, so you can direct them in the proper direction. So that's why I build these walkways, like the promenades down there, if you were wondering. And it is a hint for your guys' cruise ship as well. So we're gonna go ahead, fill 5-2, I believe. Yep. Okay. So there we go. Side of the promenade deck, kind of filled out-ish. We'll worry about the rest of it later. But now, so I'm going to go to the actual episode, is a steakhouse. So typically in fancier restaurants, you're going to want to use wood, and a lot of it. I prefer darker wood because I think it looks a lot more fancy typically, so I choose every dark color I can find, or every dark color that I see that will work, and put it into the steakhouse. So I like using the spruce wood as kind of like an outer type, kind of like an outside type wall, and the reason being is because it's more kind of fancy looking and more darker. I know darker in a cruise ship's not always the best thing to have, but in a steakhouse I believe it is, just because it kind of simplifies the elegance and the peacefulness inside of said steakhouse. So I'm going to go ahead and again stay with the consistency, so I'm going to do a paneling type thing. So I'll do that, 1, 2. Alright, I'm going to get maybe some spruce wood planks. We'll go ahead and put that in there. Again, keeping it dark, consistent with the theme of the restaurant. Let's go ahead and do that. And the inside, I'm just going to go ahead and fill with a whole bunch of types of wood. So fill 5, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5. Oops, and then you're gonna fill it up like 4, 9. Okay. So there you go. So as you see, I'm using a lot of wood in this, and I can't express that enough. Wood is very important in a steakhouse because it's just the way it is. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like, why do, really just anything. It's just an obvious question you can't really answer, but it just have to have it, okay? They look good, and that's just the way things roll, okay? So that's the law now. From now on, it is now a law that you must have that in there, so do not break the law. Alright, there we go. So, I'm going to take these guys. See how I have the entrance kind of like this as well? Again, I'm keeping the consistency with that, so I'm putting the stairs up here to keep it consistent with the Oceanic Lounge, but it also has its own taste, as in being darker, and the Oceanic Lounge has whiter wood. So it kind of is blending the patterns almost in a way. So keep that in mind when you're building your ship, is that you want to change the patterns a little bit, but you don't want to change it completely different. Because like, you don't want to have the steakhouse and then have like a kids club next door that's completely pink and everything. Like, you don't want that. That'd look ridiculous. So you want to make sure that you keep up with what you are doing. So, let's see. I'm actually going to move this. It's like this, and this will be our entrance right over here. So this right here will be the entrance. I'm going to go ahead, get myself some glass. Maybe some black glass will do. Put it on top of there. And then we will get some doors. Wood doors, again, just fine. You could use iron doors, but I've never seen that before. Keep them open. Alright. And then you can go ahead and put down your glass. So you can do multicolored glass, which is typically what I like to do, because it makes it look a little bit cooler. So I put the darker glass on the bottom, and then I take the gray, I'll put that on top. As I say, it kind of makes like a neat little color pattern. And you don't have to do this. Again, the whole series that I'm doing this on is just suggestions. This entire how-to series is all suggestions and inspiration for you guys, so that you guys can build your own custom cruise ship in Minecraft. And the cool part about the series is it doesn't even necessarily have to be a cruise ship. You can build a hotel off this, and even in the steakhouse itself, you can just build the steakhouse itself in an island too, because this is all really effective. So there we go. Now I have the glass going on, and we'll worry about lighting here in a minute. But first, I want to get this wall in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that by putting these bottom panel type things on. All right. Oops. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and put in some windows, so we'll do that. Now in the steakhouse, you don't have to put as many windows, And the reason is because typically they're darker than most rooms. So I'm gonna do, let's just go with a rule. Let's just go with the 4. With that should work. Let's go every 4 block, or the lifeboat's right there, so as you see, the lifeboat holder thing's right there, so it connects to that wall, so we'll just make that one the exception. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back and fill in with some spruce wood planks. So we'll have the wall, and again, you don't have to have walls colored like this in your cruise ship if it's tiny. I just do it because I believe it looks better, but this is your ship and you can do it however you wish. And again, it is just completely 100% up to you. And I just realized it's the wrong wood, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that really quickly. I do like that dark wood. I was using a different type of wood on the wall. Change that. Alright, there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my glass. And the reason I don't do multi-textured windows on the outside is because typically the exterior you want to be consistent completely with the exterior, because the ship will look funky if say this window is like pink. It would look funky, because as you notice, most of the windows on the ship down there are black, and you want it to be black up here. Another exception are the rooms, because the rooms you want to have a nice view of everything from the inside of your room, so that's the only exception, and that's why that is an exception. So go ahead and do that. On the other side of the ship, or other side of the room, I'm going to go ahead and insert some beacons, like that. There we go. Okay, so now we can worry about other lighting. So typically you want to do the lighting, you know, everything first, so you can work around it. So I'm going to go ahead and use support beams on this one, because that's really the only option I have at this point to light this place up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, it's probably going to look a little bit ugly, but you don't really have an option at this point. This is kind of what you're going to have to do unless you can come up with something better. But one thing you can do that I did learn is, I don't know if this still works on 1.7. Let's see. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Well, what you used to be able to do is you could put trapdoors over these things, but I don't know why you can't do that anymore. That's kind of stupid, to be honest. But I think if you put in a roof, and I'm not sure about this, but you might be able to if you do that. No. Okay. They just completely got rid of that once they have 1.2, so never mind what I was about to say, because that doesn't work anymore, of course, knowing Minecraft. Nothing ever works. Okay. So, now that you have the main room figured out, you're also going to want to reserve some more room out here. The reason being is because you need a kitchen as well. You thought you were getting away, didn't you? Nope, you got to add a kitchen. Of course, every good restaurant needs a kitchen. Now, the kitchen does not necessarily have to be all white and quartz. You can have it like this, like on the wood paneling, if you want. It's just kind of a preference thing. But typically they are going to be white-ish. So I'm going to make an extra door right there, and then I'm just going to put the wall right here. And I'll make this wall right here as well. This one doesn't have to have the paneling on, because I'm just going to put something over it later on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, fill 155, 50, which is quartz. Okay, and actually I'm going to make this all white. I changed my mind, I want this to be... Oh, wait, the doors are here. Okay, never mind, again, sorry. Can't speak today. Okay. So it's actually going to be this in here. I changed my mind. I want this to actually be wood. So it's not always going to be like this. In fact, very rarely kitchens are. It's just kind of a preference type thing. So in a steakhouse, typically you are able to see your food being cooked. So that's one of the cool things about a steakhouse. So it's in Carnival steakhouses and in most steakhouses I've been to in real life as well. So I'm just going to add this little window right here, which kind of is where the waitress comes up and, you know, blah, blah, gets your stuff. Okay, so over here I'm going to get some doors. Now I'm going to make these iron doors. Like that, in which you'll need a lever to open, only from the inside, because it's a crew member only area. So there we go, you can only open it on the inside. Makes sense, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add in some piston. We're going to want to get some pistons. Get pistons. We're going to want carpet like that. I should keep the beacons. What else do we need? We're going to need some furnaces. And what else? Oh yeah, we're going to need some pressure plates. Alright, I think that's it for now. Okay, so again, the pistons. If you haven't seen the other kitchen that we made earlier in the series, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick overview of that, so you don't have to worry. And it's a lever right there, so I forgot it's going to do that. Okay, so there we go. So this is kind of like the kitchen layout. Oh, slabs. Okay, so you want to put the slabs like this, so you can connect to the wall, or so you can connect to the ceiling up there. You just want to go all the way around. All the way. Like that. And I usually just put these guys up like every 3 or 4. It is just so that you can see that it connects to the wall. That's just all that is. Or the ceiling, I mean. Can't speak today. Okay. So the steakhouse, you're going to want to add quite a bit of furnaces, because guess what they cook here? Yep, you guessed it, steak. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and put down a couple of these guys. And then above these guys, you're going to want to put stone stairs, which is the hood, basically, the ventilation hood. If you don't know what a ventilation hood is, it basically takes up the smoke so it doesn't set off smoke detectors. So there you go. And then you want to get some fresh plates, and put those on top of the furnaces, so it kind of looks like stoves and, you know, open flame burners, whatever you want to do. You can also get some walls if you so choose, so you can hold up this little bit up here. It just is a little bit more detail. If you wanted to add this, it's completely up to you. It just makes it look better, all in all. And actually over here, you can probably add something right there, because you want to fill up the space, because you gotta realize this is a relatively small restaurant, but you still want to add as much as you possibly can for cooking area. So now you're going to want to get some iron, and then you're going to want to add a refrigerator. So these aren't too hard to make, so I'm going to put it right over here, and you just want to put in some doors, and there you go, you have a refrigerator. It's pretty simple. All it is just store meats. And now you would have to usually make more big freezers, but we have to remember we built that kitchen a couple episodes back, and that holds a majority of the ship's frozen foods, so they can just walk down and get more if they need some. Okay, so there we go. Now that is the kitchen for the steakhouse. Now we can actually make the dining room. So the dining room is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a dining room. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to add something like this. Not that close. You want to add something like this. Then you want to get like some stone slabs or something like that. Ooh, the carpet. Quickly, sorry about that, but quickly before I forget on the carpet. If you want, you can put the carpet on like this, and this acts like a countertop. So before I forget that, there you go. So as you see, I just pretty much added these countertops. You want to put a wall right there. There you go. That was just a quick thing that I completely forgot to do, and you can do it over here as well. There we go. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. You want to add this because this is pretty much the check-in area. Like, if you have reservations, this is where you tell the person, okay, I have reservations, get everyone else on my way, let's go eat. You know, that's pretty much the idea of that. So, now you can go ahead and start adding in some chairs. Again, I like to do 4x4 type of chairs like this. You can add separator, or dividers if you want, but I typically don't do that when it's against a glass wall just because it kind of looks derpy. But you can. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you here in a minute because I'm actually going to do it over on the other wall. Okay, so I'll do that. Then you want to get some fences, like so. Put these guys down, in between all the chairs. And see how it's kind of making a table form. That's at least what you better hope you're doing. Alright, put these guys down. Oops, I broke the goal. Oh, what did I break? I broke something. Okay. Alright, then you want to go back, get carpet that we grabbed earlier. And again, as you notice, I'm using like darker, grayer colors. And again, it's just the consistency of a dark steakhouse. I have no idea why steakhouses are dark. That's just kind of the way it is. Probably because of how much cows they killed. I have no idea. Okay, so now one thing that you could do is actually make a divider in between here. So these poles, you can actually make use of these poles, and it's kind of like a room separator. So you can do something like that, and then you want to get some glass if you want to do this. And notice how I'm dividing the room up. Now this is just kind of making it more organized almost. It just kind of separates the room into two so it's more organized. Really, it's actually taking up from space you can put into this place, but it's just mainly for organization. So you can put even these guys on top of it, and as you see, it makes a nice wall. And you probably have seen these in restaurants before. They're just pretty much dividers so that the restaurant's more organized. So there you go. And along this, you can add singles table or couples tables that are pretty much just 2 tables each, like this. They're really small, made for couples. Unfortunately, I would not be on this side of the table. Okay, and then you just want to add these in between the seats, like that. And you get your tabletops, like that, and put them all in. And there you go. Now you have single or couples tables on this side and family table on this side. So then you want to do the same thing over here. Now this side we actually, or let's do the same thing. Okay, so I'll add these tables over here. Oops. Go. Just keep going. It is a repetitive process, but it does pay off, I will tell you that, because it looks really nice at the end. Okay. So you want to get some fences. And put them back down. Like that. Alright, there we go. Have all the tables down. And now we'll go back over here. And these tables these tables are going to be focused mainly on the windows, and I'm going to focus these tables onto being on windows, because when you have windows to work with, it's always nice to have a table next to them so that those passengers can get that nice view out to the ocean. So I always try to make sure that the table lines up with the window when I have the opportunity, because it looks great. Especially when you're eating on the seas, and you can look out and see the ocean. That is just some of the best. That is honestly some of the best experience I've had on cruise ship. Just eating and looking out at the endless ocean. That is honestly one of my favorite parts of cruising. And I've been on a lot of cruises, and that is still one of my most favorite parts. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add different types of tables. We can add these guys, which this guy just pretty much fills up space right there. Those are just kind of space fillers. Actually, we don't really need a lot of them. We could probably add one right here. Yeah, we use a pretty good amount of space on this one, so we don't need that much. So we gotta add the carpets in. And there we go. So as you can see, it is still dark, but that's pretty much just what a steakhouse is, kind of. It's really dark. I mean, it's a dark wooden type place. But if you want it to be lit up, I mean, what you could do is you can add these lights here if you really wanted to. If that makes you any better, but they're typically supposed to be darker wooden type structures or older feeling type buildings. So there we go. That is our steakhouse. We have the steakhouse and the kitchen. Thank you very much for watching and the support of the channel, especially for this series. That's great. The amount of views that this series is getting. If you have any suggestions for the channel or the series, please tell me in the comment section below. I'm always trying to find ways to expand. I mean, I tried filming stuff, you know, like Far Cry 4 on Europa Universalis, but those just did not get views at all. So if there's anything specific you want me to film that I can afford, you know, please let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. As always, have an awesome day.